work. Some people say, Mr. Harrington, how is it possible that a playing card can reform itself around one signature? How is it possible that you can make an egg appear out of nowhere? Well, it's all in our imagination. I'll give you an example of that. For example, one of my favorite playwrights wrote once, "There are more things on heaven and earth, Horatio, than are dreamt of in your philosophy." Philosophy is another way of saying one's mind, one's capability for imagination. So I'd like to show you now the philosophical paper. Now, why is it called the philosophical paper? It's because you utilize your imagination to see varied and sundry items from the paper. For example, if I hold it like this during the summer, it could be a way of cooling oneself down in the summer heat. If you are in the practice of deception and thievery, one could use it as a disguise. If you're traveling to a fancy dress party, it could be pressed into service as a bow tie. It could also be made into a circle, like this, and pressed into service as a rosette, or a lunar eclipse, or chapel window, or a place setting for a fancy party. All in using your imagination. Now, this paper is more complex than first glance, because if I unfold the paper, we go from 2 dimensions to 3. And one can see perhaps a number. 7 or 1. The letter L. It could be used for shaving, perhaps. Could be used to clean the mud off the bottom of your boot when working in the fields. It could be a mushroom that one finds near the water. It could be a top hat when you go to the opera. If I hold it like this, does anyone have any idea what this might be? Popcorn. You have a very vigorous imagination. A diamond, my goodness. Such a young woman to know of such fancy and expensive things. No, I think of it as an object the Montgolfier brothers first sent skyward carrying animals, a hot air balloon. If I hold it like this, it becomes a comfortable reading chair or an expandable settee. It could be any of those objects. If I unfold it even further, if you do not have the ready access of local musical entertainment, you can use this as your own. So you can see quite clearly, if I hold it this way, it looks like a cake, or a cookie, or a Cossack. Those are those Russian folk dancers. If I hold it upside down, it becomes a receptacle for a child's bath. As the child grows, so does the receptacle. As I unfold it even further, we create different shapes, all by using your imagination. That is, however, exactly, however, that magic works. Now, you recently celebrated something in New Hampshire. Actually, we celebrated in the United States because we elected a new president. We elected Franklin Pierce. I have to congratulate you as New Hampshire residents to have your own president. That is quite remarkable. However, in Massachusetts, we've had 2. No worries. Someday you'll have another of your own. Probably not. Maybe you had a feast recently where you cooked a large bird, not a pheasant, hopefully. They're very difficult to come in these parts. Perhaps a turkey or a goose. If I fold it like this, you can see my wife, Mrs. Harrington, likes to cook our Christmas goose in a saucepan on the stove. I say, why do you do that? It's so inefficient. She said, well, because cooking is hot work, and the steam makes it much easier because it's so dry. Of course, she likes to drink a little bit while she's cooking. Do you know what Mrs. Harrington likes to drink? Pineapple juice. We live near the docks in North Chelsea, you see, and there we're able to get all sorts of exotic fruits. I tried to have her have pumpkin juice one year, but she said it was too bitter. I'll unfold it yet again. Now, I don't know if you've noticed, but men, particularly men of the hirsute persuasion, have been experimenting with their facial hair of late. In fact, I recently saw a gentleman from France traveling down the streets of Boston wearing a rather exotic facial hair. I saw another gentleman riding on a large wheeled vehicle and holding on the handles as he traveled. I myself was eating a sweet at the sweet shop. I decided I should actually be exercising instead. But myself, I prefer bonbons. I had a dream once of being an admiral and working in the Queen's Navy. Being born in the United States, the Queen would have nothing to do with me. If I hold it like this, perhaps you've seen in Italy the gondoliers with the single-oared vessels going, "Oh, my profound apologies. You came for an exhibition of Conjuring, not musicality. That will be later on at 6:15 when the young harpists get here. In fact, they might be wishing for a bouquet of flowers. Perhaps not. They might be wishing for an urn to keep their water in. Many things of that nature. If I fold it in one more time, perhaps you see a number. No, I was thinking of 3.1415526. I know that because I graduated from Dartmouth College on an Indian scholarship. I do believe that term to be somewhat crass, however. If I fold it in one more time, I can examine and stir and note that it is time for you to see more mystical endeavors indeed. Are you prepared to see more magic?
Yes.
Your philosophy is stimulated. Excellent. At this point in the presentation,